Hi, this is going to be an update on the energy of Daniel Robinson and the Buckeye, Arizona Police Department. So, Daniel Robinson went missing from Buckeye, Arizona, June 23rd, 2021. It's been a little over 2 years, and we still have no information. The Buckeye police have not followed up, given us any, report, found any more leads, found a body or anything like that. Daniel Robinson's father, David Robinson, has continued his search for his son and has hired a private investigator, has a lot of different evidence, promising leads, but can't get anywhere with the Buckeye police. So I've done past readings on Daniel Robinson's energy, and you can see them on my channel where I talk about, from the beginning that there was problems with the police department and there was problems with a human trafficking ring that goes along these roads through these southern states in these rural areas that are um, you know they're like off roads, they're back roads. Instead of taking the major freeways, you're able to take these side roads. And I believe Daniel Robinson was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And unfortunately, Buckeye, Arizona has a history that we need to talk about. And I've talked about in past readings. As of right now, we're going to focus on the police department. And the chief of police for the Buckeye, Arizona Police Department is a man named Larry Hall. This man, Larry Hall, has been in law enforcement for over 30 years. Now, we have to start this story in 2014. We're going back when the chief of police at the time for Buckeye, Arizona Police was a man named Mark Mann. Now, at the time that he was chief, Larry Hall, this man was the assistant chief of police. An anonymous letter was sent saying that Buckeye Police Department was corrupt and an investigation was launched. In this time, Mark Mann steps down from being chief of police and Larry Hall steps up to be chief of police. Mark Mann steps down to be assistant chief of police. They basically switched roles. And in this time, he's, you know, assistant chief of police now, Mark Mann, and he refuses to talk to Larry Hall, who's now the chief of police. He will only speak to him in emails. So he's sending emails in this time. It ends up being a paper trail of all the corruption and drama and issues within this police department, all in these emails that were sent because Mr. Mann refuses to talk to Mr. Hall. Now, eventually, Mr. Mann steps down as even the assistant chief of police because the investigation reveals, and the investigation was done by a third party, and the investigation reveals through this paper trail of email that basically man had a hostile work environment and that he was also threatening employees and wanting to meet out outside of work to fight out their differences and things like that. So he's violent and it's a, hostile work environment and things like this. And so he even steps down from being assistant. And so both men are basically at this point fighting, mad. There's an ego trip going on, and both of them are blaming each other for the corruption within the police department while them themselves are both being investigated for corruption. So this leads to more information through these emails and through this investigation. And another anonymous letter is sent. And this one states that it's from numerous employees in the Buckeye Police Department. And the letter claims that now Larry Hall, chief of police, falsifies crime statistics in an attempt to make the city of Buckeye, Arizona more appealing. Now, they also say in this letter that officers committed major policy violations and operated side business despite conflicts of interest. Larry Hall himself, the chief of police here, and another department professional, this man worked and handled internal and external complaints and investigations of the police department. So Larry Hall and this man, the other professional in the police department, these two had a private security business together. Now, this is against the rules, but it's the chief of police and the guy who handles misconduct investigations, so they do it anyway. Now, in 2017 through 2018, Larry Hall is then put on a 5-day suspension while they investigate this new info. The new lieutenant, Charles Arlack, is also suspended. The sergeant at the time, I couldn't find his name, but he resigns and he's not allowed to be a cop anymore in the state of Arizona. So wrong, you know, man is still saying the original chief of police, the one that went to assistant, then resigned because of the hostile work environment and because of the violent threats to employees. Okay. He still says, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay. And that Larry Hall, the new chief of police, actually set him up and that it was all a setup from the beginning. It's not him. It's actually this guy. Okay. This guy says it's not him. It's the other guy. All right. What ends up happening after an investigation? Mark Mann, the original chief of police, is Brady listed, which says on his record that he is hostile and that he is not credible. Yet he is still allowed to be a police officer, and he is now moved and is on patrol in Cottonwood, Arizona, which is about 2 hours north of Buckeye. Now, Mark Mann is hostile. He can't be trusted. He's uncredible. He makes violent threats to other people, and yet he can still be a police officer. So if you live in Cottonwood, Arizona, be aware. Then we move forward. 2019, Larry Hall and Lieutenant Charles Arlack go through their 1 week suspension and the little investigation that they had, and the Arizona Police Officers Standard Training Board. Okay, so the Training Board of Cops of Arizona then vote against any more discipline, any more investigation, no more action on this case. And they're not going to question the certification of Chief Larry Hall or Lieutenant Charles Arlack after this 1 week suspension, even though he was accused of falsifying information about crime statistics to make the city of Buckeye look more appealing. They decide to close the case. No more investigation, no more discipline, and Larry Hall is still Buckeye, Arizona's chief of police. Fast forward to 2022. Larry Hall, chief of police here, receives a Valor Award and a Lifetime Achievement Award from AIS Phoenix chapter, which is basically a security company. And he's receiving this reward for his heroic efforts in a 2021 shooting incident where he disarmed a homicide suspect. So they give him a medal, they give him an award, and they give him the credit that he deserves for disarming someone. And so now Larry Hall is a hero. And that's what we know about the Buckeye, Arizona Police Department and their heroic leader, Larry Hall. So let's see what else has happened since 2016 in Buckeye, Arizona. Since it is one of the safest cities in America and definitely the safest city in Arizona, according to the records. Well, under Larry Hall, and through this time from 2016 to 2023, there has been, Jesse Wilson, 10 years old, who went missing and was murdered. He went missing July 20th. This is Jesse Wilson, missing July 18th, 2016, 10 years old. He was found 2018 on State Road 85. Why do I bring this up? Well, it happened under that great police chief, Larry Hall. This little boy went missing. And when he was found 2 years later, after he was missing, he was found on the same exact road where Daniel Robinson was last seen. So in 2016, Jesse Wilson goes missing from his Buckeye, Arizona home. He's 10 years old and they suspect him to be a runaway. Jesse Wilson's skeleton remains are then found in 2018 off State Road 85, right out here in Buckeye. The medical examiner report cannot determine a cause of death because, as we know and as I've talked about in past cases, adults, teenagers, their bones are not fully developed. So a lot of information they can't get off of autopsies when it comes to children, when it comes to people that are pretty much under the age of 20. Bones don't develop the same way. Doesn't help when it takes 2 years to find the body. That means more decay, more, decomposure, and they can't get the same information to do things like actually determine a cause of death. Jesse's body was actually found out on this road. Okay, it's a rural area, as I've talked about in past videos. This is about 6 miles from his home, and they don't know how he ended up here. They don't know how long he was there. They do know that they had searched the area before, but there was a lot of water in the area at the time, and so they feel like they just kind of missed it. December 2022, Crystal Wilson, Jesse's foster adopted mother, is arrested and indicted on charges of abandonment and concealing a body. Because they couldn't determine his cause of death, they can't say that she murdered him, and there's actually not a lot of evidence towards that. And so they arrest her, they charge her, and I just can't believe that this keeps happening on this road. Same road, about an hour away from the last spot that Daniel was seen. We now find this missing boy's body. So the judge releases, Crystal Wilson in 2023 of this year. June 2023, Crystal Wilson is released until she stands trial on the charges of concealing and abandoning this kid's body. Not homicide, as I said, and he's 10 years old. For 2 years, gone missing. They find him on the side of the road. 2 years later, they just now arrest her. Then they let her go. Okay, so that's another story, I guess, for the legal system. But, had the police department maybe found this kid, faster than 2 years, and here we are going over 2 years for David, too. I mean, for Daniel, David, his dad, out there still searching. Nothing from this police department. They didn't even find Jesse's body. Someone else found Jesse's body. So what exactly are they doing at the Buckeye Police Department? Oh, we know. There's allegations of misconduct. They're falsifying, crimes. They're having affairs. They're sending anonymous letters. People are resigning. People are fired. People are moving to different police departments. Investigations are going on. The whole time, people in this area, kids, men, are going missing, okay? Bodies are being found out on these roads. Nothing. We got nothing from the police department, okay? these same roads, and I talk about it in the past reading, same exact road Jesse's body is found on is where the distance where Daniel Robinson's truck was last found, okay? Same roads, and I've said in the past, there's something about these roads. There's something about these roads. There's something about a human trafficking kind of organization. There's something about these small border towns. There's something about these police departments. Everyone plays their part. Everyone's involved. They all go through these roads. It's a back roads. It's an alternative route rather than taking the actual interstates. They're forgotten roads that have been just built and they were there before, or they were developed in hopes that it would, increase the city, and it never took off, whatever it was. And you can just go through these roads that run through our southern border, through these southern states. And Buckeye, Arizona is like a trading post. It's almost like a spot right before, you veer off into going to these back roads. And it's always been that way. It's like trading post land. It's like a spot. It's a town that has always been, a spot that travelers stop at because it's the last river. Okay, so even if we're going back to like Wild West days, these roads that have always been there, these people that have always traveled, this is going to be one of those stops, Buckeye, Arizona, because the Gila River is there. That's the last of the water through a desert land until you hit the Rio Grande River in New Mexico, and that's going to be at the very end of the Rio Grande at the southern part of the state. It's rural as fuck out here, is my point, and I keep saying that. In the meantime, we got people disappearing on these roads. Then we got bodies being found on these roads. Now, multiple bodies, because as I said, Daniel's father, David, who has hired a private investigator, continues to keep searching for his son, has found him and his search teams and the search efforts out there have found 7 bodies out there. Now, none of these remains have been Daniel, but they don't know who they are. Who are these people? 7 other remains have been found out there. One human skull was recovered with a gunshot hole in the back of the skull, which exited through the mouth. This is obviously a murder. David and his search teams have sent photos. They've uploaded photos. They've said that some of the remains have been picked up by the Buckeye Police Department, and some of the remains have not. They've been out there multiple times searching, and they've come across the same bones, the same bodies that they have found before, that the police department hasn't even gone out there and picked up. Some of them they did, some of them they don't. I've talked to Daniel's dad, David Robinson, before in the past, and I know for a fact that there are other families that over the years, going back to the 80s, have had loved ones going missing from this area, off of these roads, never to be seen again. And they're wondering if some of these bodies that they're finding out there might be their loved one. Hey, my brother went missing back in 82, and like now that you're finding all these bodies, do you think one of them is his? Well, we don't know, because the Buckeye Police Department has not identified any of these bodies, has not identified the cause of death for most of them, and has not identified any murder suspects. So even whoever's doing this is still out there roaming around. Keep that in mind. It's crazy that nothing has been said, nothing has been done over the 7 other human remains that have been found in this area right there on these roads in Buckeye, Arizona. Yet Larry Hall has the chief of police here, Larry Hall, this guy, he's got a history, okay, of falsifying information. Crime statistics, he falsifies them. He is ignoring, apparently just ignoring murders and bodies in his city that keep showing up on these desert roads. Mr. Robinson's private investigator has revealed a lot about Daniel's disappearance, but the Buckeye Police Department doesn't want a high crime rate, and they've worked hard, to make the public forget about the corruption in this police department. Larry Hall is a hero now, and they gave him a medal, and this is what's happening. Well, black men and black children in his city go missing and are murdered and are dumped on the side of the roads in Buckeye, Arizona. And when 7 more bodies are found, God knows what they are, women, children, what race, what religion, who knows? Because we aren't having any identification come out for these 7 other bodies. So 7 more people murdered. No reports, no news reports, no investigation, no murder suspects, nothing. 7 bodies on his watch, and they give him a medal. 7 bodies, 2 missing people, okay? Killers bonding out of jail, never being charged at all, some of them, because they're not even found. I mean, just roaming around in Buckeye, Arizona, killing people, throwing them on the side, burying them in the desert. Hey, they're allowed to. And when the bodies pile up on the freeway in this desert town of Buckeye, Arizona, it's okay. We're not going to say anything about it. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to keep falsifying that information. Be very aware when in this city, whoever you are. And if you go missing, they're not going to find you. And if they do, they'll probably find your remains years later. And then it'll be too late, you know, to even figure it out. And it just doesn't matter at this point because they're up to 7 and nothing's been said, nothing's been done. Not a case has been solved. And, Daniel Robinson's been missing for over 2 years now. There's evidence of foul play, and the Buckeye Police Department is not going forward with any of these leads, with any of this evidence that, Mr. Robinson and his private investigator have provided. They're not going forward with any of it. Buckeye PD has not solved a single case. They haven't found a body. They have not served any justice for any of these situations. Not for Daniel, not for Jesse, not for these 7 people that they've found in their city, in their deserts, like on the roads. Nope. Residents are not safe here, and killers are free, and false information is reported. 2 missing people, 7 bodies on Larry Hall's watch, and no answers, no justice. But Buckeye PD, they were investigated, and, they didn't find any reason to keep investigating. All of this going on, and the FBI can't get involved, refuses to get involved. Mr. Robinson can't get any FBI investigation here. They don't see any reason to investigate this police department, even though bodies are piling up and nobody's being held accountable. Information's being falsified and nobody's being held accountable. Yet the FBI doesn't think that they should get involved. Okay, crazy, right? In the meantime, they sure did get involved for Gabby Petito, didn't they? Yeah, they were on that in days. How about Natalie Holloway? Oh, they're on that in days. This has been going on for years. There's a history of corruption in this police department with your police chief. Bodies are piling up. FBI don't seem to feel like they need to get involved. It's pretty crazy to watch this happen this way. They really pick and choose what cases they feel they should get involved in, and Daniel's isn't one. And guess what? Jesse's isn't a case that they feel they should get involved in either. And neither are these other 7 people that they found in the desert in Buckeye, Arizona. There's no reason to investigate that. The FBI doesn't think so. In the meantime, neither does the mayor of Buckeye, Arizona. The mayor, neither does the governor of the state of Arizona. And the mayor is this lovely man, Mayor Eric Osborne. He doesn't feel any reason to get involved, to see what's going on, to want to know why people keep going missing and bodies keep fucking showing up in your city. You're the mayor of this town, yet you've done nothing about even Daniel or Jesse. Okay? You're doing nothing about the 7 victims that are unidentified. How about the governor? The governor sees nothing wrong with the corruption going on in Buckeye Police Department. So if anyone has any, concerns, maybe, you want to voice your opinion, Mayor uh, Eric Osborne, he can be reached at 623-349-6000. And the governor, Katie Holmes, she can be reached at 602-542-4331. We can go over here to this guy, the Buckeye Police Department. Any comments, any concerns? He can be reached at 623-386-4421. Wonder why nobody's identified these people. Wonder why none of these people are found. And maybe at best you find their remains 2 years later and you can't even charge anybody with murder, even if you have a suspect. Now, I've said from the absolute beginning, the police are involved. The police in these border towns, these border agents, some of the residents, they play their part in this human trafficking that goes all the way through these southern states, from California all the way through. And they play their part, and everybody gets their piece of the pie. And I've said from the beginning, these police departments are underfunded, they're overworked, they become desensitized, they don't have the manpower, they don't have the, abilities. They sure the fuck don't want to give up the power though, and when it comes down to it, these investigations, these, police board certifications, the FBI, the governors, the mayors, nobody cares. Nobody's going to help. No one's going to actually solve this, even when multiple bodies start piling up. They're going to falsify the information instead. End of the day, a fish rots from the head down. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a country girl and we do a lot of fishing around here. I'm saying that because leadership is a contributing factor to an organization's success, and leadership is also the cause of an organization's failure and demise. And this organization, under the leadership of Larry Hall, chief of police, for Buckeye, Arizona, he has a history of failure, corruption, and falsification of information. And now there's people going missing regularly. There's bodies, 7 of them, showing up regularly. We can't identify. We don't know where these people are. And, crimes are just not being solved under Larry Hall's leadership. And, all I can say about that is, without justice, courage is weak. And that's what I think about your award, your honor, your value. Yeah, Ben Franklin said it best. Without justice, courage is weak. And so let's hope that something gets done and some of these cases get solved. And maybe we can find Daniel Robinson. Now I'm going to see what the tarot cards have to say about the corruption in the Buckeye, Arizona Police Department. So we'll focus on the energy of the Buckeye Police Department and, what the cards have to say around the energy of Daniel's case. Kind of doing a combination of all of it. Knew from the beginning that this just didn't seem right. If you go to my channel, you see past readings, you see the tarot cards playing out this story, pretty much talking about the corruption, saying, the energy was coming through. There was deception here. And here we are 2 years later, and we've gotten nowhere when it comes to Daniel's case. We haven't found his body. We have no leads. We have no suspects. We don't know who these other people are. that have been found out in this desert. It's been 2 years, absolutely nothing. Mr. Robinson conducting his own investigation, his own searches, coming up with more clues, more leads, more evidence for his son's case to still be at a standstill for nothing, no information. And if he's out there, okay, he's a grown man, he decided to leave, whatever. Yeah, even if you got any evidence of that, you got any evidence at all? With the evidence that you have you solved any cases? I will continue to say Buckeye Police Department hasn't solved shit. They haven't solved anything. They haven't found anyone. They haven't identified any human remains. But they got time to cover up the corruption. They got time to give out medals. Be careful in Buckeye, Arizona. Don't believe the statistics, okay? It's falsified information. It's not as safe as you think. It's actually very dangerous. People are going missing out of Buckeye, Arizona regularly. Bodies are being found in Buckeye, Arizona regularly. So let's see, what is the energy around the Buckeye, Arizona police departments and Daniel Robinson's case? And all the cases of these other people too. So here it is, the moon in the past. As we knew, things in the dark, that are going to come to light when the moon shines bright. And I can't help but see these two faces here. It's two-faced energy, man. I'm telling you, there is shit behind the scenes that we just do not see. Yet, for Mr. Robinson, I will say, keep going, right? You got to keep going. Both fucking right or left, it's all a trap. Keep going straight, right? And we have the Six of Cups here in the present. There is so much nostalgia, memories, links to the past, emotions. Absolutely. This whole reading just bothered me because I'm like, I can't believe we've gotten nowhere in 2 years, So here comes that nostalgia, memories, emotions. And then here in the future, what do we have? The Four of Pentacles, holding on, trying to balance out, trying to gain possessions, trying to gain, something here, trying to hold on to what we have, hold on to hope, maybe even. Four of Pentacles. And in the meantime, we are stuck. Here we are with the Hangman. There's a pause in life. There's a lot of Pisces energy on the board. Also, water energy. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. I believe Daniel is a Capricorn. Lots of water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, lots of earth energy. Let's verify the moon in the past, just things in the dark, need to come to light. It's just, there's deception here. Exactly, but there's opportunity, there's good luck, there's hope, there's third party situations, there's good luck though here. And you pretty much had to bring in a third party because there was no way it was going to get done until, the third party came in and investigated. Did anyone even in the slightest get held accountable when it comes to the police department? And then when it comes to actual Daniel's missing person case, did anything even get done until Mr. Robinson actually brought in a private investigator? So third party all over this had to come in. It does bring some hope. It does bring some good luck. It does bring some opportunity. Work, putting in the work, and his dad has not stopped. Mr. Robinson has not stopped. He has been continuing to put in the work to find his son this whole 2 years. So these nostalgic memories, these ties to the past, with the Six of Cups, it's very emotional. Absolutely. Always gonna be emotional, I think, for everyone involved too. But here comes the hope. Well, here comes the sun, which definitely makes it nice to see the sun there. This is connections, this is emotions to your child. Absolutely. And I'm sure Mr. Robinson is feeling that. But there's hope, day and night, this man has searched and prayed and thought about his son, and never given up hope, never given up that there's going to be good luck or opportunity along the way, night and day. But what's in the dark will come to light, and the moon, what's hidden, will come out, and the sun is happiness, joy, success, like good luck, good energy here. Don't stop searching. Of course not think it'll ever stop, but there's a lot of anxiety. There's bad luck here. There's backstabbing with the Ten of Swords. There's that anxiety, which we know, because we know that the corruption exists. Hell, they know the corruption exists, and they continue to cover it up. They continue to hold their position. Maybe let's see here in the future, we got those possessions. Holding on to hope, and also holding on to your position, right? And here comes the Lovers. So the law of attraction, Gemini energy comes through. Maybe we'll get some information during Gemini season. Also, the law of attraction. So it's like, hold on to hope, because the law of attraction's here. The Lovers, there could even be something. And you know what? When we were talking about the police department and I was reading about it, and I said, like, these anonymous letters kept saying there was something with the affairs, within the police department, sleeping with people to get higher ranks and this and that. Like, oh yeah, it's going on here. And so maybe something comes out about that. Either way, this is definitely holding on to your position, using the law of attraction, having that love, that bond, that soulmate energy. It's definitely going to be what a father has for his son. And Mr. Robinson has not stopped. In the meantime, bottom of the deck, good news is on the way. Let's hope so. With the Eight of Wands, this is going to be more of that Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy that comes through. I believe Mr. Robinson is a fire sign. So more of that. It's like, it's going to happen quick. When it actually happens, it starts happening quickly. The information comes in quick. Everything happens quickly. Hold on. Use the law of attraction here in the future. It's the best hope we got to hold on and use the law of attraction. We got this unbreakable bond here. Verify one more. Oh, committed with the 10 of Pentacles. The commitment is here, okay? His father, Mr. Robinson, is committed to this. This isn't going to stop. This is not going to stop. And there's money involved here. Absolutely, with the 10 of Pentacles. And you know what? I wonder if someone's going to have to pay out a lawsuit with all this misconduct, right? In the police department, with all of this, falsified information and stuff. Wow, there could be some money payout. There could be something like that that gives this a boost in some way. Please donate if you can. Go to Daniel Robinson's GoFundMe, because, as always, this private investigator and Mr. Robinson has basically moved out to Arizona, uplifting his whole life to find his son. This is not easy. This is not going to be free. So donate if you can. Looks like the money's coming, though. Looks like the commitment's coming. I wouldn't be surprised if this police department ended up, you know, having to pay out some money for all of this shit. But that's what happens when you want to keep corrupt people. Absolutely. Because look at the bottom of the deck, we have the Justice. Justice in your favor. Justice coming out in your favor. The scales are going to balance here. These investigations have been going on. Ooh, secrets. More Pisces energy. There's a lot of Pisces energy. Maybe Pisces, Gemini kind of seasons. We might hear something. Secrets with the High Priestess coming out. Intuition, psychic ability, secrets. Taurus energy. Yeah, I'm going to say between Pisces, Gemini, Aries, Taurus. Got to be around the spring of next year, maybe. Wow. Secrets are still there. They're staying committed, though, and it's going to work out. And in the meantime, let's hold all these damn police departments accountable, because as I said, it's been 2 years since Daniel Robinson has gone missing. You know, Jesse, I don't even know if we're going to get justice for Jesse because no one's being charged with murder. And 7 more bodies on, Larry Hall, chief of police of Buckeye, Arizona. Yeah, on his watch, we got 7 bodies, 2 missing people. Let's please spread the word. Talk about it. Don't let this case die. Donate if you can to the GoFundMe. Please help find Daniel in any way you guys can. Any information, please contact Mr. Robinson. And, just pray, guys. Never give up hope and pray. And speaking of praying, I had to get a Bible verse on this because we need one. God be with us. God be with Mr. Robinson, the Robinson family, Jesse, his family. We keep seeing these foster kids get adopted and get killed by their adoptive parents and family members. Pray for Jesse Wilson's family and Daniel Robinson's family, and for those unknown people that we found in the same area on the same road that Daniel and Jesse were found out in Buckeye, Arizona. And the Bible verse I got, we are here in Romans 12:9 down at 21. And it says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." And gosh, do we need that message. Thank you, Lord. Please watch over us. Please pray. Please, put out the good energy, whatever it is you believe in, and don't let this case die. And let's hold these people accountable in law enforcement and positions of power, from the mayor to the governor to the police department. Somebody needs to do something about these people in Buckeye, Arizona, who keep getting murdered, going missing, and the falsified information given to the public by Larry Hall, chief of police for Buckeye, Arizona. Thanks so much for watching. I will do another update if I get any more information. Bye.